revolution. It's quite an intense title, really, because revolution means guns. It means Molotov cocktails, violence, rioting in the streets. But hold on, stay in your seats. I'm not about to ask you to stand up and march down Lambton Quay and storm the Beehive, because the revolution I'm talking about is one of a different kind. The revolution I'm talking about is a lot more gentle, because I'm talking about the revolution of a wheel. Something that turns and moves and pushes us forward on a journey. What I'd like to talk with you about today is the two things that I think are necessary in order to start a revolution. And I'd like to relate that to an organisation that I've been involved in called Girl Up. So, the first thing you need to start a revolution is something with wheels. You need to find something that you believe in, something that fits who you are, something that feels good and looks good, and something that you're going to be happy to drive or ride. And for me, I was lucky enough to find a bike, and my bike is called Girl Up. And Girl Up is important to me, and it speaks to me, and it's the bike that I chose because it speaks to what I believe in. And what I believe is that every girl, everywhere, is powerful. That there should be no one that tells a girl that there is anything that we cannot do. I am a girl, and Girl Up is empowering girls across the world. And what it's doing is changing statistics like the one that there are 62 million girls. 62 million girls worldwide that are primary and secondary school aged and aren't getting an education. And an education is about so much more than 2 + 2 = 4, or I know how to write an essay now. School is about feeling empowered, and school is about giving you opportunities. And there are 62 million girls that aren't getting these opportunities. So I chose Girl Up as my bike because I want to change statistics like these, and they're an organisation that's doing that. But there are so many different organisations and charities and campaigns that are working towards the same things that Girl Up is. But this was the specific one that felt right for me. Because you don't want to hop on a bike and push the pedals and bike a long way if you feel obligated to be on that bike. You want to be on a bike because you want to be there. So find a bike that fits you, that you believe in, you want to be part of. So the second thing that I find really important in starting a revolution is having the courage to push the pedals. Having the courage to get on the bike and push the pedals and keep the revolution going, keep the wheels turning. Because it's scary being the first one to get involved in something when none of your friends are. It's scary because it's going to be a wobbly journey, and you might fall off and fail, but you also might have huge success and bike for 100,000 meters, and it'll be awesome. So it takes courage to push the pedals. But you need to find this courage, and I was lucky enough to find the courage in my belief and the thing inside of me that made me really, really want to create some change. And I was lucky enough to find courage in the support network that Girl Up already had in place. And I was also lucky enough to find courage in my friends, who are wonderful, gorgeous people, and I knew that once I'd got my revolution started, once I'd got my bike up and moving and those wheels turning, that they would join me and support me, and I would no longer be a lone wolf screaming my message about empowerment into the wilderness, but they would come to all of my events and join my club, and they would be there through thick and thin. So I found courage in those things. And it's important to find something to draw courage from in order to push those pedals. Because by pushing the pedals, that's when you get the wheel turning. And when you think about it, once you get the wheel turning, you start to go on a journey. And when you go on a journey, it really takes you places. And for Girl Up in New Zealand, it's taken us quite a few places. So we now have clubs all over the country. And this photo over there is a few people who came to the Leadership Summit this year, and they started a club at the start of 2016, and they made special Girl Up t-shirts, which is really, really cool. And in New Zealand, we've also now held 2 Leadership Summits with over 100 people at both summits, and we've had incredibly distinguished guests at both of them. And what's most special for me is that the little club that I started on the Kapiti Coast in Kapiti College, that little club has now raised enough money to send 5 girls in Malawi to school. So this is a picture of the girls, and we've raised enough money to fund bicycles so that they can bike to school and they can get the same opportunities that we're getting. And that's really cool and really, really special for me. And for me, getting the wheels turning, getting my revolution started, has also taken me quite a few places, both physically and mentally. So physically, getting the revolution started, getting the wheels turning, took me all the way to Washington, DC. So I went to Washington in 2015 and 2016, and while I was over there, I attended the Girl Up National Leadership Summit, and I also got to lobby at Capitol Hill and talk to congressmen and senators, which was an incredible experience because it's something that a bunch of Americans don't even get to do. I do have to admit though that there were a few congressmen and senators who did either ask me, "Where is New Zealand?" or "Do you own a sheep?" I was like, no. And mentally, it took me so far as well. At the start of my high school career, I would never have imagined that I'd be doing a TED Talk, or that I'd have the courage to sit in front of around 500 people and present at the National Girl Up Leadership Summit. But starting the revolution, getting the wheel turning, has made it possible for me to gain experiences and gain the courage to do things like this. So, by starting a revolution, I've gone incredibly far. And I've done this because I've found my bike, I found what I believe in. So find your bike, find what it is that you believe in, and have the courage to push the pedals. Because by putting in the effort to push those pedals, that's how you start a revolution.